Hey guys, the dorky DIY dad here. Hey, so it is early spring here in Pennsylvania. So with spring, I'm starting to get some things ready in our camper for the upcoming camping season. So today, what I'm going to be doing is sanitizing our freshwater hose. So for those of you that don't know, freshwater hose is simply a hose that brings in fresh water to your camper. You can use it to run your faucets. You can also use it to fill your fresh water tank. We use two different hoses. One is 5 feet in length, the other is 75 feet in length. The reason we have two and the reason for the large difference in lengths is because we actually use an inline filter system as well with our hoses. So having the two different hoses and two different lengths just helps out with that and makes our setup a little bit cleaner. So I do use the green Flexzilla hose. It's a 5/8 inch ID hose, pretty standard. If you haven't bought your hose yet, I definitely want to make sure it's rated for drinking water. A lot of people do use the blue, the standard blue freshwater hose. I'll post a video later explaining why we don't use that. But like I said, we use the green one. And then to actually sanitize, I use this Members Mark sanitizer. You can get it at Sam's Club. It's a gallon is about $5 or $6. This is a concentrate, so you just mix it with water based on whatever concentration you need. For food contact surfaces, that's 1 ounce to 1 gallon of water. Of course, check the directions when on the bottle that you buy. You never know, they might change the formulation of the concentrate, so just double check the instructions. Don't rely on this video. But that's in particular what my bottle's calling for. So you may have also seen some videos where people will use a very weak concentration of bleach in water. That's another way to do it. I personally haven't done it that way. The one thing I'm not crazy about with that method is just the amount of time it takes to actually sanitize the surfaces. With that method, you're looking at, I think, around 6 to 8 hours for that sanitizing solution to be in contact with the surface to be sanitized. Based on these instructions for the sanitizing concentrate, it just says at least a minute. So a minute, yeah, I'll take that over 6 to 8 hours. Even though it is only a minute, I usually let it go about 10 or 15 minutes. Just feels like a good thing to do. That's the way I do this setup with my hoses. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'll walk through how I do this. It's pretty straightforward. You don't need a lot. You obviously need your hose. I use a small air compressor, and then I have an attachment for it. I'll show you as well, along with putting a link to it at the bottom here of the page. So if you're interested in it, you can find it. And really just some time. That's really about all you need. So we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so here are the tools that you need. Like I said, it doesn't involve too much. I've got a small compressor. I've got this particular attachment that I actually will use to help blow out the water lines on my camper, but in this case I'm actually going to use it to blow a little bit of air through the hose to help push the sanitizer all the way through. Again, I just got this on Amazon. I can post a link to that. And then I just have my sanitizing solution. Again, for my particular sanitizer, it's 1 ounce to 1 gallon. But again, check what the instructions say on the particular bottle that you buy. And then last thing I have here is a funnel. I have it labeled freshwater only, so I don't get it confused with the funnel I use to change the oil on my truck. So again, just a clean funnel. And we'll go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so not sure how well the lighting is here, but you can see I have my hose. It's actually attached to my garage door arm to hold it up in the air, and hose comes all the way down. And like I said, I've got 75 feet So it's here on a reel. Also got my dog here, Winnie, just helping supervise and keeping me company this afternoon. So I tried to find a spot where I could put my phone and film while I was filling the hose with the sanitizer, but wasn't able to do that. So I'll just explain the process here that I'm following. I'm gonna work in half-gallon increments. I'm just gonna use that red funnel you saw earlier, pour in the solution, and then let it sit for about 10 minutes. So I'll catch up with you guys in about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do after that. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the air compressor hooked up to the garden hose using this, I guess we'll call it adapter. Pretty much just has a garden hose end on one end and then a 1/4 inch adapter to hook onto my air compressor line, and then just trying to keep things sort of out of the way. I've got the air compressor line hanging up and over, so I've got my air compressor. It's set at 150 psi. That's 150 in the tank. The regulator's at 0, so 0 psi in the line currently. So I'm just going to start increasing the pressure, and you should start to see and hear some of the fluid moving through. All right, so you can obviously see a decent amount came out there, and yeah, that's about it. Not a whole lot to this. I'm just going to go ahead, repeat the process a few more times, and otherwise you could say your garden hose is sanitized after that. I'll do the same with our 5-foot hose. So you may be wondering why I have the hose hanging from my garage door. In an ideal situation, I'd be able to fill the hose completely with sanitizing solution, but because of air pockets, I'm not able to do that. So to help deal with that, I increase the height of one of the ends of the hose. By doing this, it will increase the pressure head of the sanitizing solution within the hose. By increasing your pressure head, it allows you to put more sanitizing solution into the hose, thereby reducing the amount of times that you have to fill up the hose and just overall making the process run a little bit more smoothly. So before we wrap up today, I figured I'd explain how I came up with 3 gallons and what my rationale for that was. So as I said, I have about 75 feet of hose, and with 75 feet of hose that has an ID of 5/8 of an inch, that's about 276 cubic inches of internal volume. A gallon of sanitizing solution, or just plain water, is about 236 cubic inches. So not quite a 1-to-1 ratio, but it's close. So what I wanted to do was make sure I get enough solution through the hose that I completely coat the inside of the hose. As I had stated previously, I can't completely fill the hose with the solution. So I figured if I put about 3 gallons or so, or roughly 3 hose lengths worth of solution through, it'd give me pretty good confidence that the hose has been properly sanitized. So that's the reason for it. You can choose whatever number you want. Again, I'm using the sanitizing solution. That's the Members Mark brand from Sam's Club. Whatever solution you decide to use, whether it's an actual sanitizer or if it's the bleach method, just make sure you follow the manufacturer's recommendations for what concentration you use. Again, I'm just using what's written right on the bottle. So hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time, I'm the Dorky DIY Dad.